I'll tell you what, these shed panels are doing an amazing job at keeping the weeds down over the winter time. It is another dry but wintry morning here in Cornwall, and I turned up at the allotments today to find that something rather big was missing from the bottom of my plot. Pretty sure I used to have a polytunnel around about here. We've had quite a lot of stormy nights recently, and although my polytunnel had survived the first several windstorms, it seems the last one was just too much for it. At first we turned up and it actually looked like it had been stolen, but we have found it. By and large, the plants underneath are doing okay. Here are the radishes, looking nice and leafy. I don't know how they're going to fare without the protection though. Broad beans, still soldering on, although they do look a bit battered and bruised, bless them. Especially that one there at the front. It's sort of been knocked over and is grown all funny. I'm sure he'll be fine though. I mean, these guys can battle pretty much any weather. So this is where my polytunnel was before it decided to have its little adventure. It flew over my mum's polytunnel, this one here next door, over her entire plot, over the next plot, and the one beyond that, and ended up just between this tiny little greenhouse and the shed on the other side of it. And it was a heck of a job to rescue it. It took 4 of us to rescue it. So, yeah, it went on quite a journey. So checking on my garlic this morning, I couldn't help but notice this massive hole at the top of the garlic bed. At first I thought maybe it must have been a fox or a rabbit or something digging down trying to get to my bulbs, but then my daughter, bless her, told me she'd been trying to dig to China. There is one more big change on the plot that I haven't shown you yet. At the beginning of the video you'd have seen me demolish my old shed so that I could rebuild it. But my dad, bless him, saw what I was going to do, took pity on me and bought me this beauty for my birthday, which was a couple of months ago. It did take its time to get here, but we spent a good couple of afternoons sorting out the grounds, levelling it up and putting the shed up with the help of my dad and my good friend Dan. So let me give you the tour. So the shed has been standing for about a week, and all I've really done is move my things back through from my mum's shed to here. But it's fine, it's got everything we need. The light doesn't work properly, never works the first time, but always does on the second go. We have somewhere to hang the coats, we have the clipboard so I can actually remember my jobs, the gas stove, kettle, most important thing in the entire shed, storage, table, chairs. Of course, another important part of the shed is a half-decent view, which you'll be able to see a bit better once I've taken off the protective screens. But for now, I'm leaving them up there. It's new. I want to keep it looking as good as possible for as long as possible. But it's nice out there. It's lovely. Especially on a day like today, we can hide away from the rain and just watch it through the door and stay nice and dry in here, or in Mum's shed, which is that blue one there, with a nice cup of tea. You know, this morning I knew exactly what I needed to do up here today. Now that I'm here, I have no idea what I'm doing. back to my plot here in beautiful Cornwall. So I have got a tiny little bit of work done. There are 2 beds outside that I was going to extend. I do have the wood for re-edging them, and all I've really managed to do is take out the bits of wood that were in the way and basically dig marker lines as to where I want to put the new edges. But considering we've been up here for about 3.5 hours, it's not a lot of work done, to be honest, but to be fair, it's been quite nice sitting and having a cup of hot chocolate with my mum, so I don't mind so much. I started working on the new layout here with the veg beds. This one here was originally, I can't see on the camera here, yeah, was originally 1 bed down to about here, then was going to be another separate bed all across the end, but then I had the polytunnel put in, which is no longer there. So I've decided instead to extend this bed all the way down to the fence there at the end. This one here on the other side of the path, I'm going to extend over this way, right to the fence there, and then all the way up here in a nice L shape. I was thinking of getting another polytunnel. To be honest, the urgency is worn off now that winter's already set in. Raw beans don't seem to be doing too badly actually. They did start going really rather black and unhappy. They've had a bit of a nibble as well, but they're still going. This is where the garlic is looking good. Look at these. This is just supermarket garlic. This Morado variety, which I got from Morrison's a couple of months ago. Was not expecting it to grow so quickly. In this side bed, there's rhubarb and strawberries down at the bottom there. Some sort of currant there, perhaps it might be black currant there. Autumn raspberries. And up here was the herb bed when I first moved into the plot. It still is. It's the beautiful things. It's got your mint, a couple of different varieties of mint. It's got your purple sage. There's lavender over there at the edge there. There are chives, and there was thyme and oregano under here somewhere as well, but it's always been a bit of a state. Mint has started taking over the rest of the plot. But what I decided to do is next time, we've only got like 15 minutes now until we've got to go home, but next time I'm going to dig up all these herbs, clean slate up here. I'm going to keep the fruit bushes down at the other end of this bed. And I'm going to dig up all the herbs up this end, clean slate with the herb bed, and in the springtime the herb bed will be moving along to here. It's what, 3 or 4 times the growing space of herbs. I've got to say, the herb garden is usually my favourite part of any allotment.